Hello, and thank you for joining me today. Well, this is the Tuesday, September 26th edition of our video devotionals. We appreciate you being with us today. Hope your Tuesday's going well. We do call this Thankful Tuesday, and of course, we do have much to be thankful for. And I'm thankful for the beautiful weather we're having. It is overcast, but it's cool, and we're definitely feeling the effects of what we call fall or autumn coming in. And so hopefully you can enjoy it yourself. Well, let's jump into things here kind of quickly today. And from the Today book, says in 1960, the first Nixon-Kennedy debate on television. So I guess, when you talk about these, we're in a presidential uh, election cycle, I guess if you want to call it that, where debates are going on, and I guess this was one of the what you would call the famous of the debates. Then it says in 1820, Daniel Boone died, and then 1789, the Methodists were organized in this country. All right, so we're going to stop right there, and hopefully everybody again is having a great day today. We appreciate everybody who watches these video devotionals, and hopefully they can be a help to you. If you know of anybody that could be benefited by them, then certainly share it, pass it along. As far as tomorrow goes, of course, we're getting ready to wrap up the Old Testament here. Tomorrow will be either in, looks like Zephaniah or Haggai. So we'll read those two books tomorrow, 5 chapters total. And then, of course, by Friday, we'll finish the Old Testament. It is amazing how time flies when you think about we started out in Genesis, January 1. Here we sit almost through the Old Testament. All right, so we're going to be in the book of Habakkuk today, Habakkuk. Unusual name, I guess. Probably wasn't in the region where the name originates and that sort of thing, and the time period. But at any rate, we're going to look at Habakkuk today. And Habakkuk has 3 chapters, and we're going to be at the very end. And we're going to read verses 17 through 19 and just actually, we're going to kind of emphasize one word today. There's a phrase that goes with it, but we're going to emphasize one word here. All right, so notice what it says here in Habakkuk 3:17. It says, although the fig tree shall not blossom, neither shall fruit be in the vines, the labor of the olive shall fail, and the fields shall yield no meat. The flock shall be cut off from the fold, and there shall be no herd in the stalls. Yet I will rejoice in the Lord. I will joy in the God of my salvation. The Lord God is my strength, and he will make my feet like hinds' feet, and he will make me to walk upon mine high places, to the chief singer on my stringed instrument. So that sounds like a psalm. That's how, if you notice Psalms, you notice the stringed instruments there, a song. Now, here's what I want to point out. First of all, when you look at the conditions that were listed in verse 17, sounds like there's nothing that's going to have of any benefit as far as the agricultural side of things. The fig tree, no fruit on the vines. The olive tree, it'll fail. No, the fields won't have anything in them. The flock and all of that. No herd in the stalls. And you say, man, that would be devastating. Yeah, that'd be devastating. And of course, when you think about it, especially when this is the result of God's judgment, so things that don't have to be. Of course, God's a God that wants to bless, and he wants to give us those things we need. And there are seasons in life in which God does certain things that the world will look and say, man, that's terrible. But God uses people that go through the valley, like a Job and other people. So, but here's the thing. Here's the one word I want to emphasize today in all of this. Yet I will rejoice in the Lord. Yet, in spite of all of that, okay, all that happens, but you know what? Yet I will rejoice in the Lord. I will joy in the God of my salvation. The Lord God is my strength. Here's the thing. The strength of the Lord is never going to fail. There'll never be a time where you'll find in a Bible, a book, or from any person's lips that can legitimately say, you know what, the Lord's failing today. The Lord's not having a good day. The Lord's strength, it's weak today. Maybe he'll get it back. That'll never be said. So if the Lord's strength never fails, God never diminishes, there's never a time in which we would say, well, heaven, it's bankrupt. Heaven's going to have to be bailed out. Heaven's got some issues. Heaven's got problems. Things are really, really lean from heaven's point of view. We can never say that. But what we can say is, the Lord is my strength. And so yet I will rejoice. So whatever your situation is today, we can still rejoice in the Lord. I don't diminish. Look, I preached a sermon Sunday morning. Paul was in the storm on that ship, and all that happened, and the ship was destroyed. All the souls were saved, but yet God was in control of all the winds. Every problem that was on that ship was a result of the wind, that great what we would call a hurricane, cyclone, typhoon, whatever you want to call it. All that was a result of what God could or could not have changed, but He didn't. So the point is, we can rejoice today, and we're going to have struggles, and we're going to have things that come into life. We're going to have the burdens, and we're going to have things that's going to, as we use the term, rock our world. But yet we can rejoice in the Lord. Why? He does not change, and He's a God that will always come through when He wants to, and when we need Him to. When I say when we need Him to, from God's perspective, we always pray prayers, Lord, do it now, and change this and take that away. Don't ever let that happen. And yet God says, I'm God, let me handle this, and it'll be right. So we can always rejoice in the Lord. So rejoice today. No matter the circumstances, you can rejoice. And it's easy to rejoice when the blessings are coming and the victories happen. I get that. We should. And if we don't, that would be shame on us not to give God credit and not to thank Him for what He's done. But we can always rejoice no matter what, okay? So we're going to leave it at that. So hopefully the rest of us, all of us can have a great day today and be safe out there, be healthy as best you can. And Lord willing, we'll see tomorrow what we call Winning Wednesday. We're always winners in the Lord, no matter the circumstances, and we can always rejoice. Have a great day.